Hey, Apple Blonde. Hi, how are you doing? Oh my God. Happy Thanksgiving. Let me move some stuff real quick and I will get into the full nitty-gritty. Oh my God, you will not believe my day. Oh, sometimes, most times, when, you know, you ask for things from God, you're like, God, I really don't want to do this. And you're like, but you're doing it, right? So I was kind of like chilling, quiet day for me. Oh my God, my day was not quiet, girl. I cannot believe what happened. So the original plan for today, I planned for 2024. I was going to Tennessee. I was going to see Craig. Well, we know that didn't work out. And then my twin sister, hey Steph, my twin sister was supposed to be in Houston because she was supposed to go to this festival, 50-year, whatever. Well, financially, they couldn't do it this year because of the cost of what's happened in her life. So I'm like, okay, so both of our Thanksgivings are thrown up in the air. Hey, Cammy. Hey, Apple Blonde. Hey, Royale. Hey, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Um, so all of our Thanksgiving plans have been kind of last minute thrown together because up until 2 weeks ago, we're going to go to Tennessee. Well, I got sick. James got sick. I got sick. And then we're like, okay, we can't risk this. Craig isn't feeling well. The thing is, we all have to feel well to meet up because humanity has enough issues without illness. Hey, Miss Jelly, we survived. Oh my God, I'm not sure I survived. I'm here. Oh, but let me see. When I was talking to my friends and family about my stress of having to have Thanksgiving with my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my nephew, and I didn't really want to do it, and I was trying to figure out ways to get out of it, but I'm like, no, Jackie, be be the way it should be. And then my twin sister, she's like, you must spend Thanksgiving with me. I'm like, okay, I'll go spend Thanksgiving with you. And God answered my prayers. I didn't actually pray for this, but I did put it in the universe. I did say I didn't want to spend Thanksgiving with my mother-in-law. Well, hey, Missy. So let me tell you what happened. So this morning we do everything as we planned. We go, we get up, we get everything ready, we get in the car, we go to the nursing facility to get his mother's still asleep. Okay, that's fine. We're there very early. How is she doing? We knew she wasn't feeling well, but we're like, okay, let's get together. And then my husband's there for like an hour because I'm sitting in the car waiting. And he's talking to the nurses. They're talking to the other nurses. They're waiting on some paperwork. They're looking at his mom. His mom is like lethargic and not really coherent. Next thing we know, they're like, we're going to send her to the emergency room. We're like, what? James is like, here, guys, just a year ago, he lost his father the week before Thanksgiving. So now it's Thanksgiving. His mother is going to the ER. So, okay, we come home, we switch out cars, we eat quick lunch, we cook green bean casserole because there's nothing we can do at this point, right? So I take a nap. James is, stressed out. We go down to my sister's house, right? And well, before we do this, we stop by the nursing place. Hey, how is my mother-in-law? No, we did transport her to the, hospital. We call the hospital. The hospital says, yes, we're in the ER. She will be admitted. She's going right to the ICU. And we're like, okay. I'll say, okay, we'll stop by on the way back. So we drive down to San Antonio. We spend time with my sister. It's very awkward. Very awkward. She makes the most amazing turkey. And I'll get to the happy turkey story in a minute, but we only stayed there for maybe an hour. And mind you, it took us almost 2 hours to get there. We only stayed for an hour. We get back in the car. We vomit us back up to a different town where the hospital is. We stop at the hospital. James goes see his mom. Mom's coherent. She's doing better. She has fluids. She's on her third bag of fluid. Um, she's gonna be in the ICU room at least for 2 days, but at least she's talking incoherent, whereas this morning she was not. And then so she'll probably be there at least for 4 days, probably. 2 days in the ICU and because it's gonna be going into the weekends don't happen very fast in hospitals. She'll probably stay in the ICU for probably 2 days, depending on capacity, and then they'll move her into a regular room, and hopefully the antibiotics will clear up everything, but they were kind of worried that she would sepsis. I mean, yes, those words happened. So I'm like, James is stressed out. He's doing a little bit better now that he's seen mom, talked to mom. We've texted everybody, so we left her at the hospital, came back to where we live, picked up our dogs, well, fed the dogs, picked up the dogs, went back to her nursing home, grabbed her cell phone charger and everything, drive back to the other town to go to the hospital again. We literally just got home. I came home and I sat down. I said, y'all have to, you will not believe what happened on my Thanksgiving. Now, good news, she's getting help. Good news, my husband caused a fuss and a ruckus that got the nursing home into doing what they should be doing. They were already doing it, but they were waiting on some more lab work to come back, and it's a holiday week. So basically, he says, this isn't normal. She's not responsive. We need to get her some help. So they got her sent to, the emergency, facility. So yeah, it's a little rough, guys. So, but okay, so that's the what we planned versus what we got. So, I mean, when I talked to God and I said, God, I really don't want to hang out with my mother-in-law this Thanksgiving, this is not what I meant. It's like, God, this is really not what I meant. It's like, thank you, Jesus, that this is just medical intervention is helping her, because the other alternative is not a good one. So I'm like, and the nursing home, I swear they would have waited another day. They would have waited another day. And if she had waited another day, who knows what would have happened. It's like she was already, because I mean, the symptoms are listlessness, tired, not really talking. She does that on the normal. That's her normal. So then when it's more profound and they're like, she's not even talking to her son, or like, no, 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 no. This is wrong. This is what I say. Hospitals, patients need advocates. So anyway, good news is she's where she needs to be. We've seen her, we've talked to her, we've let the family know. Just like I had this whole conversation with God, like, excuse me, like, I know you have my back and I love you and all, and you know what you're doing, but this is really was not how meant to spend Thanksgiving when I said I didn't want to hang out with my mother-in-law, was to have my husband worried that, his mother-in-law wasn't going to be, but his own mother might not be alive, because he was really very stressed out because she does have heart and kidney issues. There's a reason why she's in a nursing home. So anyway, super stressed out, but okay, so we'll move past this negative with some positive, and we'll move right into the positive. So I'm talking before all of this happened, before all of this, my sister's texting me at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and she's like, Jackie, this is only a 9-pound turkey. I'm like, why did you only buy a 9-pound turkey? I mean, she's a family of 4 and they all eat turkey. And I'm like, and we're coming too, and we have another third person coming. So it's gonna be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us. It's like, hello, hello. No, I'm not counting Jenny, Andy. Yeah, yeah, 8 of us. So she goes to HEB, which is our local grocery store in San Antonio. Now, San Antonio is one of the top 10 largest cities in the United States. I forgot where the ranking is. So she went to San Antonio to the HEB at 9 o'clock on a Thanksgiving day. She goes in there because she's not happy with her turkey. She's not happy with the turkey that her husband had acquired. And she wasn't happy with the fact that it wasn't thawed out enough. And she's like, I'm not dealing with this 9-pound, upsized chicken wannabe turkey, because that's not a turkey as far as my sister's concerned. So she gets her happy self over to HEB. No traffic, no people it wasn't crowded, She goes in there, she picks up, I'll have to show you a photo. She picks up these 2 turkeys, guys. It is crazy. So she gets, let me see if I can show a photo. I'll show the before and after. Do I have, so this was the first turkey she had, which she says is an oversized chicken. She says it's a 9-pound turkey. It's not big enough, right? So she goes to the HEB and she picks up this turkey. This is a much larger turkey, fresh turkey, already seasoned, de-dressed and everything. It was already reduced to $18, guys. She had a coupon. This sucker cost her $8. It was such a good deal. She left that line because there was nobody there, walked over and got a second turkey. So she got 2 turkeys for $8 a piece. She still can't believe it. Let me see if I can show you the picture of both turkeys. So I have a turkey in my oven or in my house right now. There. 2 fresh turkeys in their own roasting trays for $8 a turkey. These are $25 turkeys that she got for $8. I'm like each. So for 16 bucks, she just got 2 giant turkeys and she's like, why have I been stressing out all this time? I'm doing this next year. I'm like, you just got lucky. You struck gold. Gold. So she I came home with a whole turkey that I'm gonna cook tomorrow, and it's a fresh turkey. And so we had turkey at my sister's house. We made green bean casserole. Um, for the 1 hour we were there, we had a fabulous. Well, I had a fabulous time. I gave Jennifer the Boyd Spare Christmas Spare. She loved it, absolutely loved it. Um, Super happy. And then I gave her Miss Bayberry, and she's like, "Is this the one I gave you?" I'm like, Jennifer, I don't that was Miss North Star. That's Miss Bayberry. But I'll take Miss Bayberry back if you don't want Miss Bayberry. And she's like, no, 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 no. I want Miss Bayberry. I'm like, okay. And then I showed her the Santa Bear and she just about screamed. She's like, oh my God. Because we've always had Christmas Santas, always. My father's always given us Christmas Santas as a traditional. And so I gave her one. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's lucky. And wait until she sees that lady. When she sees that lady, she's going to want to take that one. But good news, I already gave her the Christmas bear. So she can't take that one. So that was my day, y'all. That was my day. We have been on the road. We have been driving back and forth here and there. We've been to the hospital, to the nursing home. We've been to San Antonio there and back. It has been heck of a busy day. And we are both just like exhausted. And it's not okay. We all okay. Put all the woes out there. All the woes out there. We get paid early. We're like, yay, we have money in our account. That's so awesome. And then for 5 seconds, because you're like, now we pay all the bills, and I paid all the bills, and he paid all the bills. Actually, he pays the bills, and I paid all the things I had to pay. And then I'm like, we broke. And he's like, it's not even December, and we've already used up all of our December paycheck. I'm like, well, there goes Christmas. I think she's cleaning from dinner. Oh yeah, Maria. Well, anyway, so that was my Thanksgiving. So I sincerely hope everybody else had a fabulous Thanksgiving that did not have my drama, did not have the family drama of my drama. And then my poor husband, so he's leaving when we left the hospital the second time. He was like, I said, well, what did your mom say? Because I was in the car with the dogs. We had picked up the dogs to take them with us, and which is good because when James got back in the car, he got a big pug hug. He had 2 pugs saying you were the best person ever because he's emotionally, mentally exhausted. And I said, well, what did your mother say? She goes, oh, well, she said to keep in touch and to see if we could come over tomorrow. I'm like, no, no, no. I don't know if y'all know this, but going into hospital is draining and exhausting, and I have a lot of trauma from going into hospitals, especially the ICU. I hate the ICU. It's a very needed place. It's very important, very important. When I was born, I spent 2 months in the NICU, guys. I lived the first 2 months of my life in an incubator. I think somewhere in my hindbrain, I remember this or something because when I had my dental surgery, I had where is it? There's a scar right here. This is from I had infection in my jaw for my tooth that was so bad I had to go into surgery and they had to cut this to drain it. This is how bad this was. It was definitely life-threatening, and I was stuck in, again, the ICU. When I had tonsillectomy, I was in the ICU. When I was in my car accident, I was absolutely in the ICU 2 or 3 times. So I can tell you one thing about the ICU: you cannot sleep. You cannot sleep even if you want to sleep, even if you're drugged up to your eyeballs. There's so much sound, so much beeping, so many things happening because it's intensive care. And there's people coming by all the time. So I do not, I mean, I only time I ever want to be in a hospital is when I need to be there and I'm dying, because I want them to save my life. But I don't want to, I still swear to this, anybody who works around, in, or about a hospital, you guys are all saints and angels. I cannot do that job. Good night, Cammy. Have a great holiday night. So anyway, so it's just like one of those, like Thanksgiving, we're giving lots of thanks. Thank you, Miss Jelly, by the way. Giving lots of thanks that we are alive. Lots of thanks. So we talked about this a bit. Like, I said, James, I love you more than once today. It's like, honey, I love you. Because he needed to hear it. He needed to say it. It's like, this is a rough day. This is why I don't love holidays. Something happens in my life. I'm like, do I jinx this? Did I do this? Did I say this because I didn't want to spend time with the holidays? This is what happened? Thank goodness. I guess like everything happens for a reason, because we were supposed to be out of town. We were literally supposed to be in Tennessee, you know? And so I'm just like, okay, well, I guess this is why we weren't in Tennessee, other than the fact that we both got bronchitis, because his mother's in the hospital. So we would have just had to turn ourselves around and come on right back, So, I mean, everything happens for a reason, I guess. But the good news is, I do have good news. My twin sister will be here tomorrow. If she doesn't change her mind, if she's not too tired, she will be coming up tomorrow to visit me, and she's going to be hanging out here with us, counting bags. At first, she's like, I don't want to do that. Like, Jennifer, I'm doing a live bag count. She's, oh, that might be fun. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Hey, not only members, this is a everybody live. Winnie, you missed my drama. Oh my gosh, the amount of drama. Well, actually, I've actually texted you. You know the drama. I was texting Winnie as this was all happening, like, my mother-in-law's in the ICU. Like, what? Oh, it's just crazy town. Oh, but Winnie, I came home with a 12-pound turkey. My sister bought one. She bought two. She bought two turkeys, cooked one. She actually had three turkeys. She already had one. She bought two extra turkeys because they were super sale. She got them for a great price. So she cooked two turkeys today. So as we left her house, she had the second turkey already in the oven. So we have a turkey in our house. So we're going to cook that turkey tomorrow. And we came home with a ham. And Jen's like, I don't like my ham. I'm like, what did you do to your ham? She goes, well, it was a spiral cut glazed ham. I'm like, did you put the glaze on there? And she's like, well, yeah. I'm like, no, you never put the glaze on the ham. And there's very specific instructions to how you glaze a ham. She didn't follow them, right? She goes, it's too sweet. I'm like, well, that's because you essentially put 2 cups of sugar on top of your ham. That's what the glaze is. And she's like, oh, I didn't know that. I said, Jennifer, did you put your ham on high in the crock pot? And she's like, yes. I'm like, Jenny, no, low. Hams are already cooked. You're just rendering down some of the fat. You're just heating it up. It's already a cooked item. You're heating it up. You're not really re-cooking it. You don't have to cook it. So this is like, she goes, I don't like the ham. I'm like, well, yeah, you made ham jerky. she I mean, James will eat it. He loves ham, but he even likes that ham. I'm just like, wow. So Jen's like, I've never made a ham before. Like, how have you never made? And then I thought about it. She literally has never made a ham before. She's only ever made turkeys or roast beef. Like primary roast, she can handle a pre-cooked spiral cut ham that you just put in the oven for 2 hours, roughly. She could that no bueno. She put it in the crock pot and just about killed it. She killed the ham. There was so much food in that house, and then her friend came over, and we had macaroni and cheese, and I just took a little portion of it, right? And I said, "Olivia, do I even wanna know how many calories are in these 3 bites of macaroni and cheese I just ate? Because I can taste it." And she was like, an entire quart, I think, of whipping cream, heavy cream was in that mac and cheese, 4 types of cheese, and then butter, and then the noodles. That was probably the most decadent. The only thing that could make that macaroni and cheese richer would be lobster because it's so decadent. It was like each bite, I'm like, well, there goes like 500 calories per bite. And I'm not really worried about the calories because I don't, I'm on Manjaro. I really don't eat that much. But high fat foods like that, oh, I was a little worried. I was a little lot worried. I had 3 bites of macaroni and cheese, and I'm like, "Please, stomach, do not rebel on me. Please let everything be okay." Oh, it was a very what about y'all? What was y'all's favorite side dish of today? And I wanna know what people ate. Tell me fun things. Tell me what holiday things. I know some people don't do turkey things. My friend who has a family of 3 cooked a 22-pound turkey today. I'm like, she spatchcocked that thing. She took out the backbone, she flattened it out, she put it in there, and she cooked a 22-pound turkey for a family of 3. I'm not sure why, but wow. They're gonna have a few leftovers. Anyway, I'm gonna need to move this real quick. We're trying to move some stuff in here so that when my sister comes, there's gonna be a little bit more. I'm hoping to make it so there's a little bit more space because as it is, there's no space. But I wanted to show you guys. I found my Ricky 40. This is the one, my RK40. This is the first one I have, and this is the second one I have. So here we go. So baby bag, mama bag. Yeah. So basically, if this bag had been this size, Craig would have bought it. And Craig would have loved this one, but he has 2 Birkins essentially in the same colorway. This has 3 colors. Oh, do you guys know? I don't know if you guys follow the Birkin journey of people's or the Hermes, but Gail, or not Gail, Gay, what's her name? Let me see if I can get a name for you. She did a great video today on the new colors of Hermes. They released some new colors. Haya Glamazon, Haya Glamazon, Glamazon. She's so funny. She's from South Africa, and she was showing the new pictures of the Hermes colors that launched in 2020, whatever, 4 or whatever. Doesn't look like. Oh no, this is not members only. This isn't everybody's only. This is everybody. This is everybody, not members only. This is a should come in and hang out, you know. I only did one members live this week. It was on Tuesday, and the rest of them have all been open just because I figured it's a holiday. It's going to already be a short amount of people showing up. I didn't want to even limit it because my subscribers, I love you all, but my membership's smaller. You know, there's at least so there's a lot more people getting a notice if it's through just everybody to show up and hang out. Steph says my mom's cooking. My mom's cooking is sad, but she tries. I left hungry, came home, and ate a frozen dinner. Thank you for making me laugh. Um, you know what? It's the thought that counts, and sometimes you just know your strengths and get it catered. I have done that more than once, by the way, guys. We normally always cater our turkey and our Thanksgiving because I'm over this cooking thing. Um, totally over it when it comes to um big productions. Now, mine's twin. She boiled potatoes, made mashed potatoes. She made stuffing 2 types because her husband wants no vegetables. She wants vegetables. So she made stuffing. She made turkey. I mean, the girl went all out. Thanksgiving was always her. She's a holiday girl. Um, and you know what? She has children, so she needs to do that. She needs to do that to make memories for her kids. And then she was so upset too because um her kids love turkey and they didn't eat any. They didn't eat any turkey. Like, did your kids ever eat any turkey? She's like, no. I'm like, well, that just means you have more turkey. I think they just weren't feeling. Her kids are they were having a fun time just playing in the house. And it was, mom and dad were home all day. They didn't go out anywhere or do anything other than going to that one grocery store run. And, okay, let me see if I can get this moved where I need it to move. And so, anyhow, the kids had fun. It was fun for me. I'm looking forward to my sister coming over tomorrow. I have a feeling she's going to cancel, but if she doesn't cancel, you'll get to see her. I haven't had dinner yet. My brother brought a full Thanksgiving dinner from the grocery store and he's reheating it. Way too much food for two people. Oh yeah. That's always too much food for two people, but that's why it's a feast, right? And then you can have Thanksgiving leftovers till you're so sick of Thanksgiving leftovers you never want to see Thanksgiving turkey again. That's the other. My sister's gonna make soup because she still has celery and onions left over, and then she has, essentially two turkeys at home. So her two, but her both of her turkeys together are maybe only 20 something pounds. I mean, together. So it's not like the hugest turkey ever. Oh, let's see if I can get this to work. Trying to rearrange just a little bit, so there's a little bit more space. Um, it's good enough. Good enough. It will work. Good enough for government work. Like the funniest thing ever, because as a government worker, do you know how much work goes into government work? I think we like joking about it because there is so much work. Maybe a long time ago that was a real thing, but it isn't anymore. Not where I work. Um, so this is my favorite Dooney bag. Guys, the sales. Oh my God, the sales. I am, oh, the Dooney sales. I have put things in my cart, out of my cart, in my cart, out of my cart. I've said, no, Jackie, you can't. No, Jackie, you can't. No, Jackie, you can't. Did Jackie do something? Yes. Was it from Dooney? No, because it was $200 plus, tax. I'm like, the bag was beautiful. The bag's worth it. It's a $500 bag for $200. It's a great steal, but you still have to pay for it. I don't have the money to pay for it. So I didn't. I didn't buy it, but the temptation, guys. Oh my gosh. Autumn Beckman just did a whole video on Black Friday sales and where to go get stuff. Everything's on sale. And then a little birdie said that Gucci, it wasn't the Alto actually, Miss Jelly. It was the Penrose Satchel 30. Oh my God. Gorgeous bag. Gorgeous bag. Anyway, and I really anyway, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I did buy some stuff on Goodwill over the last day or so. I had a really impulsive day today and it's hard to resist shopping something. It is really hard. Um, Even with all the abundance I have, I did buy something. I bought a little zip satchel from Goodwill. I got another two Goodwill Dooney bags. One Katie, not Katie. Um, is it Katie? Kessenberg, whatever her name, Kessenberg. And then there's one I'm forgetting which one I got. I need an online shopping support group. Chris, this is an online shopping support group. You are my support group for my issues. I have to hold myself accountable. So I think what was the other bag I got? So the Amy Kissenberg, I got 3 Dooney bags. And the problem isn't the fact that they were like 25 or $14, but each one has like it's like one bag was $50 with shipping and everything. The other bag was $35 shipping and everything. Another bag was $40 shipping and everything. So I said, Jackie, if I had just bought the one satchel, then I said, Jackie, you would have only had the one satchel. Oh, I still. Oh, you had the Alto Viola. Oh my God, that bag is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it was jelly. I've had that one in my cart and now in my cart, in my cart and now in my cart, in my cart and now in my cart. Oh, so many times. There's another one in there. I can't remember the name of it. It's a very boring looking bag, but it's in the Alto collection. It's a $700 bag. I love it. I put it in my cart to get in my cart. Put it in my cart to get out of my cart. Even on sale, it was still on sale with everything from $700. I think it went down to like 450 or something, 500. It's still $500. I'm like, yeah, Jackie, you fooling. You don't have $500. You know? Hey, Mama, hey, Wallet, hey, Christiana, hey, Pixie, hey, Luxational. Um, to, today, today was a whole hell of a lot. But see, I don't have children, thank goodness. I have fur babies, so it's a lot easier. Um, my sister did all that work to make Thanksgiving, and her kids were like too busy playing and didn't even eat the turkey. They didn't care about the turkey. But I was just happy Jennifer let us be normal and just eat, at her in her living room. It was super casual. It wasn't the old school. Everybody has to sit at the table. No, we don't do that anymore. Um, let's see. It was okay. I have to tear this place up again tomorrow anyway. But for right now, it's gonna look okay. So basically, we've just been home for a few minutes. I guess now 30 minutes is I pretty much came home, poured a drink, and sat down. And my drink is iced tea. You went to a restaurant, we were super late. Oh man. Well, at least you didn't have to cook. We have, oh, the prime rib. I love a prime rib. I like going to Outback's. No, is it Outback Steakhouse? Yeah, Outback Steakhouse. They still do a prime rib, a classic prime rib, which is what I like. Not the seared prime rib. That's not a prime rib. We didn't have to cook. Yep, or clean. You know, and I do have a cookie. A cookie. I do have a turkey to cook tomorrow. I'm actually looking forward to this turkey because I've only ever cooked turkey from frozen. Well, I mean, not from frozen, but they're frozen turkeys you defrost and then you cook them, right? But I've never actually cooked an already thawed out, fresh, young. I'm not even sure if that turkey is from. I've always just bought like a, butterball or a river, a turkey. But we're sleeping over at Grandpa's house and rooms about, oh gosh, that's the worst. That, I don't miss those days. I do not miss those days. When I'd go to my grandparents' house, it'd be 80 degrees and we'd just be dying. And they're perfectly comfortable. And actually, they're cold. And then if we slept in the upstairs and it was 80 degrees downstairs, it was even worse. But we would open a window, when you had windows that could open, and we opened the window, we survived that way, or else we would not survive. Because yeah, it's 80 degrees in their house. You know, y'all joke. My sister-in-law barely helped me, and she did the turkey. That's it. Oh man, luxational. Oh, I'm so sorry, girl. The turkey, all you have to do is put it in the oven. It's not. I hope you're, oh man, especially the day after a car accident. If y'all don't know, Luxational had a car accident. She is home now, but she's still recovery mode. And of course, it's the day before Thanksgiving this happens. So, and she has a kiddo, so you still make food. Christiana says it was a fancy buffet, a banquet buffet, and there was a time limit, so because we were late, we didn't get so much. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, I'm sorry. And sat here on the, and she sat on the couch while I folded her mother's lawn. Oh my God. Some people are just not aware. That is a person who is not aware. That's a person who has no self-awareness. Just because you're moving around and you're capable of doing things doesn't mean you're feeling well. Wow, flexational. Um, we can't open we can't even open the windows because Grandpa puts on the on the house alarm. Oh my gosh, Christiana. You know, uh, yeah, no. See, that's rough. See, I'm gonna pray that y'all don't come down with something because that's what always happened to us is we would get overheated and then somebody would pick up a sniffle and next thing we know we would all be miserable and sniffling because we got too hot and it's like I'll sleep downstairs on the floor if I have to get away from that. Um, Buffets are awesome, especially banquet buffets. We used to go to no longer in existence called the Beaumont Country Club out in Beaumont, Texas, and we would have every Sunday go to the country club buffet, and it always had ice sculptures. Old school. It always had a carvery, so it always had a roast or a ham, or something that involved carving. Had the salad bar, and it didn't really matter what was served on the food. uh, Jackie, forget it. I'm very concerned that we, yeah, yes, yeah, yes, I know. It's very stressful, girl. Very stressful. I will sleep on the floor downstairs if I have to get away from that heat. Because the coolest place in the house, if it's 80, it's going to be at the lowest part of the house, um, near an exterior wall. You know, I'm going to, I'm going to, girl, I'm going to heaven. That's all that matters. I want to see my mama again. That's right. That is right. I used to go to the country club too, but they were not doing Thanksgiving this year. Yeah, so this is a long time ago. And so we would go to the country club and we would get it didn't even matter. It wasn't This is just a weekly country club dinner, right? This is just not even a special holiday. They had this every week. And we would go there and Jenny and we didn't care. We wanted to see the ice sculpture to see what they had because it was always a different animal. It was always awesome. And then we wanted the ice cream cake at the cake buffet, the cake dessert table. We would eat anything they told us to eat as long as we could have the cake, the ice cream cake. I remember those are fun days. This is how we learned how to eat and behave in public because we had to wear nice clothes, which is really a pain in the neck because we're kids. We don't want to wear nice clothes. We just wanted to, have lunch. But we've gone to the officers club growing up and stuff to have dinners and we've had at that point in time we knew what was expected, right? Now as an adult, my poor husband would hate. He's not a country club guy, not in the least. Um, he would not. He would not feel comfortable in that environment. He would not like it at all. But sometimes I miss the nostalgia of the pomp circumstance of the country club. People think, oh, it's so posh. It's not really posh. Most of the country club is just a nice facility. If you've been to a nice hotel, that's what it is, right? And it just has a nice banquet hall. You're paying for it out the nose. I mean, country club dues are not cheap. Even legacy memberships, like you've been a member for 5 generations or more, they're not cheap. Because you're paying the membership fees to keep up those facilities, employ the people who are there, and pay for the golf course. So it ain't cheap. Um, so I would rather just go eat anywhere else. But it was fun growing up doing it. It's a different time. I don't really know people still do country clubs. Um, Cake. Well, Christiana, this restaurant had blood orange panna cotta for dessert. Nice. Katie, it looked like those donuts they looked at me. Oh, the donuts, the Katie, the Thanksgiving donuts. Miss Jelly says the tights are always so itchy. Oh, I hated that. I hated wearing tights with clothing and dresses. I felt so suffocated in those dresses. The kids' fancy clothes are not so comfortable. Oh, it's awful. Awful. No kidding about expensive country club dues. It's insanity. And I had my uncle who also had a country club dues. He also, because he was a golfer and a tennis player, and he actually at least used the club, you know. And then he had two or three different condos. The condo fees. I'm like, how much is that ski weekend worth for you? Now we have Airbnb. Now they could have rented out a condo, but when my uncle had the condo, it was just vacant until he used it 2 times a year, you know, and he was an avid skier, okay? Avid skier, avid athlete. He did tennis, he did running, he did golf. My aunt and my uncle were huge golfers. They were the quintessential country club people, you know? I am not that human. I'd rather stay at home and read a book. Unless that country club has a wonderful library, I don't care. It's like, I'm very a boring person when it comes to like I have all these wonderful stories, but my part in these wonderful stories was I sat and watched people do these things. I wasn't really doing these things. I'm talking to you about my family's experiences that I observed because I was sitting there forced to participate. Fancy dinner every now and then is great. Yeah, I don't think my food habits are really very good, to be honest. I'd rather because since the COVID times, we do car picnics. So we'll go to get if we get fast food, we'll just pull into the parking lot. We'll get fast food in the drive-through, pull into the parking space, sit there, turn on a podcast, sit there and eat and talk to each other while we're looking out the window in our car. Because we're like, I'm not going in the dining room. I don't want to go in there. And we will actually not go to restaurants because we don't want to sit in the restaurants. We're like, there's people in there. Let's just get food to go and eat in the car. That's what we do. We're very bad. We're don't as I say, don't live by my examples. Don't buy bags like I buy bags. Don't buy timeshares. I have timeshare. Like do all the things you want to do. Just don't follow my example. Like I bought the trailer, we sold the trailer, you know. We bought the house, we sold the house. You know, things that anybody with good financial common sense, you don't do what I do. You know, it's like this is not how you succeed. This is how you just get by. I'm happy with my life. I'm just saying don't emulate it. I did do a good thing today though. I gave my sister a um my Stanley Cup because she really wanted it. So I'm also to combat I spend money like it's given to me for free. Yeah, right? Like, you know, I earned this money. But man, Chris, I can understand. I have FOMO, serious FOMO for the Murakami. So I am starting to make my own Murakami bag. So I'm these are just those little stone things I bought, and I'm using a glue adhesive. It's tedious, but it's fun. It's so rewarding, you know? And I'm gonna be making I don't know how many flowers I'm gonna make on this thing. So far right now, you know, I'm just gonna do the first one and then yeah, I did give my sister my Stanley Cup. Um, yeah. She's a teacher. And she uses those things all the time. And I have a Hello Kitty one that's a knockoff. I like it more. And Stanley's nice, but I really like the knockoff better. It says, I have FOMO, been thinking about buying the Speedy, praying to God the price drops pre-loved once the new ones come out. I hope so. I hope so, Chris. Katie says, I rehab my spendy ways. You can't take money with you. I want to semi-retire early. Yes. So yeah, I'm trying to I'm a recovering shopaholic, as we all know. The last 2 months have been a challenge, and while I'm still in my I can't buy anything bags, I still bought 4 somehow off Goodwill. They're in the mail eventually when they ship them. Am I the only one thinking the new Murakami's? Oh my gosh, no, it is Miss Jelly. It is so overpriced. Oh my gosh, so overpriced. They are milking us for our nostalgia. So this is why I'm making this one into my Murakami bag. I mean, it's already you know, a dust bag, and I might as well make. And I'm not gonna do the smiley faces. I thought about that, but I felt like that might be too much of a what's the word? Imitation. It's the highest form of flattery. And then there's almost into the I want it to be funny and humorous, but not mocking, so I just wanted to give the vibe. So I'm thinking of doing flowers. I don't know how many. We'll see how many I can get in there. But the Murakami collection, at least those prices that leaked, I mean, super high. Super high. Like $3,000 for a canvas bag is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a very lot. I have plenty of other bags. Yeah, no. I had a hard enough. I wanted to buy a $200 bag that's normally over $500 from Dooney and Burke, $200 brand new, and I still can't do it because I'm like I could buy so many other bags with that because I at heart I'm a thrifter. I'm a thrifter. I like pre-loved, and ultimately I like my bags to have a little bit of time on them if they're leather because I think they do better once they relax and they're worn in a bit. Whereas when they're first brand new and they're a little stiff, um, they're not my favorite vibe. At least not the Dooney bags. Katie says I might buy an SLG, but I'm not going to obsess about it. I can't obsess over nothing. As I said, I'm gonna try and go in with Winnie so she can get what she wants and I can get what I want. But if I don't have the money, I don't have money, and she knows that. She knows that. But I'm gonna try to have the money. But we have a cruise we need to pay for in January, and then we're booking one for December 2025 that we also have to pay for. On top of everything else we're doing. So, yeah, it's that's James's holiday. That's what he wants. Me? I would rather buy a bag. I would rather buy a lot of bags. But I don't have space anymore anyway, and I'm not willing to cycle them out as fast as I bring them in. I like them too much. I've taken too much time to get them to constantly move them out to move more in. So at some point, I have to stop moving more in because there's no more space. But anyway, so I've been having fun working on that purse, and you'll get to see it as I continue with it. Definitely a lot of fun working with that, and that's from Naomi's crafted, her bag. I want to visit my oh, Estonia. I've been to Estonia. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So okay, I went to a lot of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. They're Baltic states, right? Then right, I think Estonia, if I remember correctly, butts right up against Finland. It's really very cool. It's very much fun. What my sister did, this is in the 90s, so there wasn't that many because the states just opened up in 91 after the fall of the Soviet Union. And to get there, they didn't have that many commercial flights, right? So one year, Jennifer had to fly in to, I can't remember which country she flew into, but one along the Baltic. And then she had to take a ferry into Lithuania. She took this really fancy ferry. Oh my God. Tallinn in 12 years ago. Oh my gosh. You'll love it. You will love it. You do not want to go there um, at all during the cold months. At all. At all. Um, it is cold. When I say cold, it is cold. You want to go in there and even in June, you will still be wearing a sweater. It is cold, especially Katie since you're in California. It is cold, but it is gorgeous and it's beautiful country, lots of beautiful sceneries, lots of places tourists, and amber, lots of amber. I loved it. I haven't been to Estonia in a long time. I mean, it's been 20, 30 years. I mean, it was the 90s, guys. But Lithuania, when we lived in Lithuania, that is my favorite place my parents, my mother and my stepfather have ever lived. Hey, Jennifer, oh my gosh! 4 a.m. here, just woke up and had to see if you were on. Yay! Hi, Jennifer. She's on a vacation, guys. So exciting. This is so cool that we get so anyway. Lithuania was my favorite place my parents ever lived. Um, she became an EU resident 5 years ago. Nice. Was she formerly an American who went to live in? Why did she end up in Estonia? I mean, that's a random place to end up at. Unless you have family connections or hmm. Jennifer, I'm so happy to see you. You will have to listen to the replay of this because the drama that happened in the first 30 minutes, I cannot repeat. It's just too much. But anyway, Lithuania, Vilnius was my favorite place that they lived. And I guess Norway might have been my second favorite place they lived when they lived in Oslo. But honestly, Vilnius, living in Vilnius, so much fun. Of course, the country had just opened up from the former Soviet Union. It was a new young country again. It was a different place, a different time. Would I say that now, going there now? Probably not, because it's a whole different vibe, a whole different place, right? But when I went, it was fun. It was a really fun place. Out of all the places my parents dragged me to go to all over Europe, I'll tell you the most memorable was going to Denmark, but not necessarily my grandmother's house in Denmark, my uncle Knut's house in Jutland. Awesome place. And that was so cool. We talked about Uncle Knut. We only met him twice, but we talked about his house and going to meet the family in Jutland so many times. It's like it was so impactful. And then so Jutland in Denmark and then Turin in Italy, and probably not so much Turin, but when we went to Florence, because I was so young, I didn't know the history of Florence. It was really cool as a high schooler learning about, oh yeah, I went there. Oh my gosh, that cathedral's important. Oh, Da Vinci? Really? Leonardo? Yeah, ignorance. We learned later. So, and then like I went to the Louvre. I mean, I didn't really care about Paris. We went to Paris too when this whole time period in my life. But the places I remembered the most were Florence and Jutland and Denmark. And my favorite place we lived was Vilnius. My favorite place to drive through was Poland. Um, Berlin was okay. My friend's still a U.S. citizen. She came back to vote. My friend was getting a divorce and she wanted to be as far away from him as possible. One of her old boyfriends worked in Sweden. Oh, that's cool. Owned an apartment in that's cool. So funnily enough, when we were in Vilnius, living there in Lithuania, my mother had a friend. I mean, it was so rare to find people living there that were foreigners at the time. She was from America, right? Because we talked to the American embassy. When you're in a small country and you're a foreigner, you kind of know everybody in the foreign community because it's a small community. So we talked to they were, my mother was teaching Thai cooking courses. A lot of people from all the embassy row, the wives would come over to learn how to cook Thai food. And we met this one lady named Jill, and Jill was married to a businessman who was also an American, and they're Americans, and they were working in the Baltic states or whatever. And she's a nurse, and she had a little kid. So my mom had a kid, she had a kid. Moms find each other, kids become friends. It's a thing. So we can become friends with Jill while we're in Lithuania. Her husband is having an affair. They have a 3-year-old, by the way. They is having an affair with a girl in the town over, a Lithuanian. And oh my God, the drama. the drama. And I'm visiting my mother for summer, like a normal summer. I hear all of this stuff, you know. I still know Jill. Her kid got married down here in Texas. Her kid looks just like her husband Michael, our ex-husband Michael. So Michael and Jill divorced. She went back to America. She was a nurse, and but I think it's funny that your friend was like, I'm getting away as far away as I can. I'm going to the other end of the world. And I had a friend in that part of the world that their marriage imploded. And then she made it back to America. I don't know what happened to him and the other Lithuanian lady, but we had another friend who married a Lithuanian. She was really nice. I really liked her. He was Danish. He was working for the airline company. They met. You know, they had a kid, really cute kid. They moved to Denmark. She became a Danish citizen. Really nice lady, but there was a huge age gap, like huge. She was like in her early 20s. He was 50. I mean, huge age gap. They had a baby. Daniel was a great kiddo. They ended up divorced eventually. I mean, they were married for a while, but it was never really going to be a long time thing, I don't think. Um, Kid was the best thing that happened out of that marriage. And I don't even know what happened to them. Sometimes I ask my mother, like, hey, what happened to blah, blah, blah? And she'll tell me, but she doesn't keep up with these people either. But I'm like, what happened to Daniel? Where is he now? You know, because I remember him as a 3-year-old. He's probably, oh my God, now 30-ish. Katie says, my friend married the old boyfriend and purchased the apartment because he had back taxes to pay in Sweden. They still married, but live separate lives. Works out well. I've been to Sweden too. I can tell you, skip Sweden. Sweden is not the best place to. Okay, Stockholm. My mother's friend. I've been all over Scandinavia because my stepfather's Danish, and my mother lived in Oslo. My cousin currently lives in Oslo, um, and my friend at the time, she was dating a guy who was in Stockholm, so we went to Stockholm to go visit. I met his kid. I met him, and I told my mother like she needs to leave this guy. This guy's no bueno, no bueno, and yeah, they did not work out. She actually ended up marrying a really nice Belgian dude, and they're very happily married, and they have fur babies together, and they go flying all over Belgium and Europe because he is flying as a hobby. So they'll fly over to Spain for lunch. And she goes, do you want to know how much it costs to fly to Spain for lunch? Lunch, very cheap. Flying to Spain, $200. So yeah, but Klaus was into flying airplanes for a long time. So he had his own airplane, and so we always knew the airplane community, and they always wanted to retire to so he gets to go flying, very much like Kaz and her husband. That they fly a lot out in Australia. But the problem with Klaus is the plane he owned. He was always intended to take it over to Thailand and leave it there when they retired, because they spent half the year in Thailand and half the year in Denmark. And he spent years and years building this plane, and you know, I cannot tell you how many years my mother would come visit us, and then my class would say, "Oh, I have some airplane parts. Will you bring them in your luggage?" I'm like, seriously, like a $2,000 radio is in her luggage. She's a diplomat passport. So it makes sense why this happened, because she could just go through and they didn't care. She had machine parts in her bag. Like they don't care there's radio in there. And so she goes home, and she's always mad at him. She's like, Klaus, I am shopping. She would have to, he would demand, I need A1 steak sauce, and I need this type of clothing. He would have a whole list of stuff he wanted from America, because although he doesn't really like American culture, he liked our things. And irony of all irony, mom would come to visit. This is way, way long time ago when I was a teenager. I am 44, going to be 45. Um, so, yeah, long time ago. So, if we could have two pieces of luggage, like two big luggages, and especially on American carriers, so she would just take all this stuff to see Klaus, and then Klaus says, "You know how many times my mother has had to carry manuals and radios and GPS systems over to Klaus overseas, and then years this airplane in our household." was pretty much another child. It was another being. This airplane would go from everywhere they moved. They would, whenever he was stationed somewhere, they had to make sure we could move the plane. We had a place for the plane. It had a hangar. He had a workshop. I mean, that was his hobby. That was his hobby. And that plane went everywhere. And so he was going to take it to Thailand and he was going to leave it there. They built a workshop for it. They did everything. They were going to be, they already found the hangar. And then lo and behold, what happens? His specific model of airplane, the class of airplane, is considered illegal in Thailand. So he can't import it. So it's like, oh, because it's commonly used for drug running, because it's a small, fast, lightweight airplane. Like, it's a spiffy little airplane. It's an awesome little airplane, two-seater. Um, so the Thai government's like, no, you can't take this. So he's like, okay, I can't really leave this in Denmark because they live in Denmark and they had it in Denmark, but the rules and regulations were getting more strict and more strict because his eyesight and the way the laws worked. That he's like it was going to be more and more restrictive to fly it there. He couldn't take it to Thailand. He says, "Okay, I'm just going to have to sell this." So he had to make that hard choice to sell his child because for 20 years he'd been lugging this airplane around and he loves flying. So he sold it and my mother got a Lady Dior bag out of it. I don't know what they did with the rest of the money. All I know is that she goes, I've had to put up with this airplane. Most of our marriage, everywhere we go, I want a handbag. So she got a red handbag, the same color as the airplane. So, and the airplane was sold to a guy in Spain, so they still keep up. They had to um, re deconstruct it to reconstruct it under their supervision and then rename and badge it or whatever they have to do to it. So it's still out flying in the world. And Klaus was very sad about his airplane. So he bought a motorcycle. My mother was so mad at him. And she's like, well, if you just want to die, if you just want to leave me a widow, fine. If you're going to fly, if flying is one thing, but if you're going to take a motorcycle, you better just die because injury, no. My mother was so mad. I still don't think he's driven that motorcycle but a few times because my mother gives him grief. I fully expect that motorcycle to be sold very soon because my mother does not want him on the motorcycle at all. She's like, this is not safe. Flying is way safer than a motorcycle, FYI. If you didn't know that, flying is actually very safe. Um, Motorcycles, not so much. It's not so much the driver, it's the people around the driver. So anyway, guys, I know it's Thanksgiving. I've been on here for an hour. I just popped in here to tell you all my drama, to tell you family stories. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna have a long live tomorrow. It's just gonna be a marathon type of just watching me count bags and crying over it because I don't want to do it. But I need to know. Everybody keeps asking, how many bags do I have? I don't know. I'm not sure I want to know. And even if we count every single bag in this room, it's not all of my bags, but it is every bag in this room. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do every bag in this room. Jennifer says, I agree. No motorcycles, right? Right. No motorcycles. No. No motorcycles. Okay, guys, I'm going to get off. I'm going to eat a cookie. No, I'm not. I'm not going to eat a cookie. I'm just going to drink some water. I'm going to go to bed. Everybody, have a great day. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. We survived. Give thanks for everybody. And we survived tomorrow. The mayhem and the madness of Black Friday. May we all survive it. May we all not impulsively buy stuff and keep our dollars in our wallet. So no money spent is all the money saved, right? Right? This is our support group for shoppers addiction of handbags, especially, oh my gosh, Dooney right now. Oh my gosh. So anyhow, bye everybody. Have a great trip, Jennifer. Have a good day. So no worries today, so no worries about tomorrow.